Did it again. My apologies. Good afternoon, and welcome into another Titan Talk. Me and Kilgoon on the show today for the most part.
And Manny.
I'm Manny, you know. That feels bad. I didn't get a chance to see Monday, so I saw him sat there, so I'm guessing
it was just me.
It was you and Manny?
Yeah, it was just
cool.
Everybody is like, I think, busier than normal with Thanksgiving coming up. Like,
for sure.
We're trying to do a normal 2-week cycle and a week where we're not here for half of a week, you know. So I didn't really want to just like take up other people's time, and so I just reviewed patch notes on Monday, and then took some questions. You know, had
Makes
some people yelling at me about Agility Relic. You know, it's kind of a standard.
Sounds about right.
day.
Well, funny enough, the last 24 hours have been a little bit quiet. I'm not trying to say that the drama's not there, chat. Just to be clear, because everyone seems to think I'm for Agility Relic in some regards. However, like, we'll continue to review the data. I don't think we've got. Do you have any data with you? I didn't bring any data with me today, unfortunately.
So we're still getting data. There's also some of the data from the first day is a little. It's always like
skewed,
a partial day,
sure,
right? And then also there were a couple like bugs that were impacting things. So hard to know exactly how things are working out. But yeah, we're definitely we have specific data that we are looking at. As soon as that data comes in,
we'll let you know.
We'll definitely let you know.
Perfect segue, though. Mentioned a couple of bugs that came out. We're just going to quickly review all the hotfixes that went out in the last, I guess, 48 hours for the most part, just so you're all up to date. In no particular order on these because I don't have them in order, but deployed a server hotfix for the Cerberus and Stygian anchor issues that were in game.
Yeah.
So Cerberus was disabled for a little while.
Yeah, so what was happening? So we'd put in a check to make sure that if there were 2 Stygian anchors, it wouldn't create an infinite loop.
Gotcha.
But there was not a check
for Cerberus.
So if Cerberus,
he made an infinite loop.
Yeah, it would seal the healing forever, and it would just keep bouncing back and forth. And that would be the end of the server.
But that has been fixed. Additionally, assault respawn timers were longer than intended. We had a couple of issues with the adjustments we made to the respawn timers. That has been adjusted again, so you should see that in your assault games being fixed.
Yeah, assault respawn timers were just like way too long, too early. Hopefully, it feels better now that has gone out.
Aladdin as well. There was a hotfix for Aladdin and his shield health. Shield health went from 35% to 10%, plus 10% of current health. I think Pom mentioned, from what I read, he just basically felt like it was a bit too strong, a bit too potent. Nobody could really kill each other with the shield.
Yeah, especially early game, it was just like you get sucked into the lamp and then you punch each other for a few seconds and then the lamp's over and you've done nothing. So it wasn't really useful other than as a pull somebody out of the fight.
Yep.
But that's not really the point of it. Like, it should,
for sure,
there should be more of a fight there.
Gives you some sort of boost of health, but some people could potentially die. Is what the goal is.
Clumsy notes had also almost forced shield splitter.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Shield splitter is kind of a tongue twister.
Shield splitter, yes, it can be
just a little bit.
If you're trying to say it fast and hype, the shield splitter. Yeah, it's doable. It sounds kind of good. Other hotfixes that went out as well. Fix an issue with Stygian Torment again regarding the slow, where it couldn't be cleansed. I know there was a lot of frustration with that. Another one that went out was new one minions now move faster at a parity with Smite 1. I know the team got feedback related to a Reddit thread that was out last week about going, these minions aren't the same, and we've had a look at that, and it seems to have been adjusted, so check out the new one minions.
Yes, no, appreciate the thread. Yeah. Another, a good Reddit thread with example of like, here is, what it looked like in Smite 1, and here's what it looks like in Smite 2, and what I think may be going wrong. And, so I don't know if 100% everything that like they were theorizing was the root cause, the root cause, but there definitely was an issue where the minions were not moving as fast. So we should have that fixed now.
So keep an eye on the new WAS. Additionally, console pickup and improvement to the minimap update tick rate. There was a couple of issues with the frames showing on the minimap, so we've actually had a look at that, so that should be fixed as well.
Yeah, we did a lot of optimization improvements to the minimap this update, and it unfortunately was a little too optimized on console, so it wasn't updating the minimap every client frame, which it should have been doing, so it's now doing that again.
And then a couple of other flights, I guess, fixes, because I'm reading words, I'm sorry. There's a couple of in-flight fixes that are going on at the moment. I'm not sure if they're out already or due to be out later today, but Medusa chins procking on the 1 tick damage that has been fixed.
Yep.
Additionally, Aladdin wish for power granting additional charges and 2 charges being used instead of 1 that a lot of people have reported. That is in flight of a fix as well. I'm not sure if that's already released or a little bit later on today, but we've already had a look at that. And that's my update on fixes right now.
Yeah. And did you mention Anchor? Stygian Anchor at all?
I heard what was no, I guess, question mark.
Okay, so I believe that this is, let me look and make sure that the hotfix is going out.
There was a hotfix I mentioned about like the slow not working.
Yes. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So that was a big one.
That's already out.
Yeah. So if you Stygian Acre was definitely too strong for most of yesterday. Maybe all of yesterday. I don't know if that hotfix went out this morning or not, because it was slowing you and taking effect even if you were slow immune.
Yeah.
And even if you cleansed it, you couldn't cleanse. So definitely Stygian Acre, super OP day one.
Pardon, you got those adjustments?
And
type them in
yeah, I have the adjustments.
Oh, you do?
Pawn message it to me.
Cool.
But we're also going to make a few further adjustments to Stygian Acre. So let me look up my messages from Pawn.
I think we all knew it was coming, chat.
Okay. So basically want to shift it to be a little bit, I'm putting words in Pawn's mouth, but shifting it to be a little bit more of a clear, like this is a item that is meant to be tanky and remove some of the multiple
extra effects,
extra stuff on it. So removing the basic attack power.
Okay.
So no basic attack power on it anymore. Increasing physical protection from 25 to 35.
Okay.
Increasing magical protection from 25 to 30. So clear identity that it is a protection item at its core, and not like I have this basic attack damage that's only good on basic attack characters. And then we're changing the way that the stacks work.
Okay.
So previously, once you had stacks on you, they just stayed for 5 seconds. Now stacks have a duration of 1.25 seconds and fall off one at a time. Okay. So it should clear up much more quickly, and like you can get to max stacks, but it should clear off a lot quicker. And then the last note is that healing stolen does not reduce the initial heal anymore.
Okay.
So previously it was like reducing their healing and you were getting that healing. Now you're just getting that healing.
Gotcha. So the healing is still going to happen, but then you're going to get a heal as well.
Yes. So you're just healing more when they're healing.
Gotcha. Okay.
He's calling it healing echoed, Pon says.
Okay.
Yeah. So, because I think that like the goal wasn't that it was, the goal with these items is not that they are true like anti-heal. You know, their counter heal is really more of the word that we've been using internally, right? Where it's like if you're against a healing centric comp, this is going to be a really strong item because you're able to heal yourself for 20% of what they're healing if you've got max stacks on them, right? But if the healing is balanced around not being reduced from a lot of sources,
sure,
and we still believe that that's the correct path. So should still be good.
So 35 physical, 30 magical, removes the damage ability from this item and the extra damage that was given for basic attacks. Still has the slow, still has the anti-heal. Oh, sorry. The healing component of getting a heal whenever people heal around you. And also the stack duration reduced to 1.25 seconds. Keep an eye on how that comes out. I'm not sure if that's already
coming off, one at a time.
I'm not sure if that's already in-game or due to go in-game later today.
Soon.
Coming soon. I guess if a housekeeping things I mentioned as well, Kilgoon, is just schedule for this next week or two. Obviously, Thanksgiving period's coming up, so I guess we should just give a quick update on where we're standing there.
It's Turkey Day in America.
Yeah, turkeys.
We all get together with our families. We eat turkey and pumpkin pie and various regional specialties.
Yeah.
Obviously, your family's, not American.
I mean, I've got my wife is American.
Okay,
so
does your wife's family have any, like...
In this current climate, me just randomly being in America without having some sort of connection to a bit strange, but sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I was going to ask, like, if there's any, like, family traditions, and I was like, well, of course not.
No, we do Thanksgiving today. I just still find it weird that you have a holiday in Thanksgiving in November, and then you do another family holiday at Christmas. Why not spread it out?
Especially when we get so few holidays in America. Spread them out? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Makes no sense. But yeah, we will basically, Thanksgiving is next week, chat. So what we're probably looking at doing is we probably won't be having a Titan talk show on the Wednesday or the Friday of next week. However, you mentioned we may look this week early, question mark?
Yeah. So I believe that on Friday, so next show, we're actually going to run through a lot of the stuff in the update. This update, I do think is going to be a little bit smaller than a normal update because it's a shorter time period, right? But we will have RTO with her aspect, some other things that we'll be talking about. And we're probably going to preview those on Friday because we're probably actually going to start PTSing it over the weekend.
This Friday.
Yeah. So because we need to PTS it with enough time to fix things before the patch is locked.
And
if people aren't going to be working the back half of next week, we kind of need to just get out in front of it a little bit.
Makes sense. So preparation for you all. We'll probably review RTO on Friday along with a few other things coming to the game. I don't expect this will be the final balance notes on Friday, just as a heads up. They probably won't come in for quite a while. But be prepared that Monday will be the last show we'll do of Titan Talks that week, and we'll come back the following Monday, I guess, would be the target.
Yeah, we're definitely missing Friday next week, and I think we're missing Wednesday, and then back day before the patch, I guess.
Cool. So expect to have us review a little bit of RTO on this Friday, so it's not going to be so much of a slow show either.
Yeah,
you're busy one.
Yeah, this will be like I guess Monday was kind of a slow show. I did patch notes. Patch notes took like
that's kind of an all.
It took like 30 minutes to go through patch notes because there's so much stuff in this patch.
Yeah.
So but today is your one big Q&A day of the next period.
Catch up with us, ask us questions, issues with the game, anything you want to talk about, we'll try and answer for you, if possible.
I do see a couple things that I'm going to call out real quick. One of them is a bug that we need to look at, I guess. Nuwa exploding Mike Typhon. I don't know why that would be happening.
I mean, that's kind of cool.
But it's kind of neat.
Is it exploding her own, or is it exploding other Mike Typhon?
I don't know, because my guess is that probably when we made the item, we took that blueprint and adapted it or something. So
it would be cool if it exploded other people's Mike Typhons and then it's a new counter.
Pon says, I know why. Okay, so I'm not going to write it down because Pon knows why. And he's
he knows why. It doesn't mean he's going to fix it or anything, does he? Like, it's been on the list. Okay.
It doesn't do explosion damage, but it does explode. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we're going to look at that.
You say you saw another one too?
There was another one that I was going to look at, but I can't. I don't know where it was, so I guess I'll answer it the next time I see it. ETA on Sylvanas fixes that one person on Reddit reported. Is it broken again if you have two Sylvanuses?
Not that I've seen recently. I know there was a lot of fixes towards Sylvanas the past week in regards to the pulls.
Yeah.
I've not seen anything new come through just yet.
I thought we fixed that last week.
Yeah.
But if it's possible that maybe it didn't get brought over into the new update, but let us know.
Any update on the fixing the Curio bug where it covers up at the first time? Yeah, I know that seems to definitely happen in Assault and maybe in Arena too. I know it's being looked at by the team. The team's aware of that one, just don't have an ETA on that fix just yet, but we are aware.
Thoughts on Agility Relic and Ranked? It's really kind of too early to have a strong opinion about it. We don't really even have a full day worth of data yet.
Sure.
We need to get a little bit of data. I think also... Normally, when you introduce something that's relatively big like this, it takes a few days for people to react to it. Usually, like when you release a new item, it appears in a huge percentage of matches in the first day because everybody wants to try the new thing, and then it kind of falls off and it settles, right? So you're probably seeing the most agility you will ever see in ranked right now. I don't know if like ranked players are even sure if it's good or bad or annoying or good on certain characters or totally fine or I think it's just like it needs a little bit of time to settle.
Sure.
So we have our data from the objective side that we'll be looking at. We'll also definitely be looking at the subjective feedback from people that play ranked. But I think it's an experiment that needs to run for more than 24 hours to really get any valid feedback out of.
What are the odds of Nut in this PTS cycle? Not sure. I'll say probably not. But
I'm going to say not. She's relatively early in the play testing that we've been doing. I mean, maybe something will happen that surprises me over the next few days, but I'm going to say probably not.
Also, we accidentally leave it on or something like that. We've got to have it during that times too. Yeah. You never know. Can we please let party go into practice together? Right now, testing some items. I know that is one thing on the list that people have requested, and I know the team is working on it in the long run, but I just don't know the time scale of when that's going to be.
Yeah, I need to go back and look at that again. We had a version of it working at one point, but I think there were some issues around it. I don't specifically remember what those issues were. This was like 6 months ago now, so I would just need to loop back around and see where it is.
Sorry, just making notes of reports as they come into, as I see them.
Yep. Is the Pantheon event gone? I thought there was more time to get the Pantheon badges, especially with RTO filling out the Celtic Pantheon. No, it was intended as kind of a short-term event. There is a chance that it could return again in the future.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of a short event between events was kind of the intent for it.
May see it next year, but for the time being, it will be the Yuletide stuff that's going on.
Yep.
Is there some sort of milestone the game needs to hit in order to get ranked joust?
I don't know if it's a specific milestone. I mean, I think it's just like, I know that there are ranked joust enjoyers that we see in chat quite frequently, but it was not a popular queue in Smite 1. And splitting the joust player base doesn't seem like a good thing to do right now. It's something that we will continue to hear questions about it. We'll probably revisit it at some point. But it's just not I don't think that it's our top priority right now or anything, because, if you want to play Joust, you can play Joust. Even non-ranked Joust still has, there's ELO, MMR, whatever you want to call it, going on in the background. So, you are playing against equal skill opponents, roughly speaking. The only thing that you don't have from ranked Joust is the badges that you're working towards and the sense of progression, which I get. But I don't know how much just adding that is worth the separate queue. Are we not? This is what I was going to answer earlier. Are we not able to earn the peppermint candies after Yule Fest ends? Is it not the same as the reaping in that regard? Yeah, so we did make that change for this one, where you'll get the candies automatically if you buy the Travelers during the period, but they will be removed from the Travelers once the event is over. Part of the reason why we did this is because it makes it cleaner to be able to make the reward things available in the future. That's kind of one of the issues with the reaping right now, is because we're like, well, technically you can always get this, what am I blanking out? The Princess Bari skin, as an example, right?
Yeah.
So can we ever really price it to be purchased in another way while you can acquire it with the pumpkins, or does it always have to be tied to this reaping event that's always happening in the background? And the same thing for the Slaughterhouse Jock Traveler, right?
Yeah.
Like, the classic Slaughterhouse Jock skin we'll revisit at some point, right? I'm not talking about that specifically, but I mean, like, the Traveler, right? Like, ideally, we would say, okay, for people that missed the event, at some point in the future, we'll price it for whatever the price is to acquire this Traveler.
Yeah.
It's probably a more expensive one because it was like a premium event reward or whatever. But it's like, because the pumpkins are still available, like, that's kind of awkward to have it available in multiple ways to purchase. We try not to have things available in multiple ways to purchase. So that's why we made that change for this event. It should just make it cleaner to clear up after the event, make it, so we can price the other things for sale.
Can we at least get some information about all new God plans for next year?
No.
At the moment, no. We've just announced all 3 for the end of the year. When we have more updates on what's coming next year, we'll be in touch. Question about the Trelly Rally announcer pack. I'll take a look at that. I'm not sure why Trelly's announcer pack in. For my brain cell didn't process that Trelly's got a standalone announcer pack in there, but there is an announcer pack with Trelly's voice in it already. But I'll check into that for you, for the people asking about that in chat.
Yeah, in 99% of cases, maybe this is a mistake or something, but we reached out to creators, and if they said, okay, we put it in the game.
Pretty
right?
much.
So
it's
possible we missed one that somebody said you can do it, but we didn't.
I'll check into it for sure. Could you add an icon to the Godlike screen to indicate which gods have anti-healing? Guess it's based off space really there, but I do get the feeling of like, they've got some sort of anti-heal or reduce healing in the kit, like a Cerberus or an Odin, I guess. But
yeah, I mean, this is something that really only matters for, like, I mean, theoretically it could matter in any match, but like realistically, this is a ranked feature.
That's true.
Because
That's true.
Like otherwise the matches are all blind pick.
Yeah, so you don't know what you're going into anyway. But if you're trying to get,
so
that's fair.
I mean, there's maybe some purpose of it, but I don't think like. The way that we balanced healing, the goal is not that you should feel like you have to have gods with anti-healing on your team, right? The goal is that healing should feel like a powerful aspect of the game that is not overpowered and needs to be anti-heal to be brought into check. And if that is the case, then that points more towards us needing to take another look at how healing is balanced and not, try and really drive people to pick anti-healing gods.
Yeah. I mean, for context as well, we went through the tail end of Smite 1 with a huge anti-heal reduction just blanket across the maps, and at the start of Smite 2 as well, which we've taken away from, but we're not seeing the healers get out of control is the word now would use here, of like every only healer meta or anything like that. So I guess the adjustments are going in the right direction. I still get the frustration that people have there. I understand.
Can we get the option to leave the chat window open at all times? It closes so quick. After a message, I miss half the messages. I would say we can probably get it to stay open a little bit longer.
Is that chat window end of game, Katar, or are we talking... Also, you've got access to the Ambassador Discord. Just drop it in there, too. Just point that out. But yeah, do you mean during the game, or do you mean end of match lobbies is the question I'm expecting there? Because I know we've done an increase to the end of match lobbies, being able to chat there a little bit longer as well.
Mm-hmm. Chat window in game.
Okay.
We can look at seeing if we can leave that open a little bit longer. There's another chat question too that I was gonna grab, but now I'm just gonna make this note before I forget this. I have too many notes on this. Okay. Will we get the chat in the startup screen back? I miss whispering my friends to see if they're up for a game, or just in general. I think that that's one of those things that I would like to do, but is not something that is easily supported. So Smite 1 had a whole custom chat system that was, created for the back end of Smite 1, which was what we now call Rally Here Gen 1. Smite 2 is on Rally Here Gen 2, which does a million things better and makes the system, it's a lot more stable than it used to be. There's just a lot of positives about it.
Sure.
But the concept of chat server was not created as part of that because at that point in time, that branch of Hi-Rez was very focused on voice chat is the path, and that people don't use text chat. And to be fair, text chat has become less prominent across gaming over the years, right? I think it's just that people that have played a lot of Smite or play a lot of MMOs or whatnot, there's some genres that there is still a lot of text chat, right? So basically, the way we rolled text chat for Smite 2, it is only on when you're in a match, and it's only with your team, right? Because that's what we have rolled and supported. We would need a whole separate out of match chat service to be able to do, DMs, lobby chat. People ask about clan chat, all that kind of stuff. That's just a whole different system that we would need to either build or integrate from a third party provider. So for example, Discord has a service they're offering now to games where you can integrate Discord chat into your game, and you can create channels and do DMs and stuff through Discord. But then you are also outsourcing all of your chat to Discord, and then
sure.
Customer support doesn't see what is said in the Discord chat. So
yeah.
If somebody is being a horrible person, we wouldn't necessarily have logs of that if we outsourced everything.
Harder for us to control, for sure.
So there are, and some of the other chat solutions that we've looked at that are pre-made are just, they seem to all be targeted towards games with smaller player bases, because the way that they charge just would be an insane amount of money a month for us.
Gotcha.
Where it's so it's basically we either have to use Discord or we have to roll our own. And it will take quite a while to roll our own. And if we use Discord, then it will have the drawbacks I mentioned.
Although linking to Discord accounts would be great for me and the customer support team to find the naughty people.
Yeah. But if you couldn't see what they said,
true.
Then that would be bad for you. So I don't know. Pros and cons.
Pros and cons for sure. Someone keeps asking about Black Friday sales in store season tabs. Do we know anything about that?
We don't really talk about sales before they happen.
Makes sense. It's a bit weird if you do that, I guess.
Yeah,
in some
I don't
regard.
fully know what the plans are for sales.
Okay.
Usually we do something for Black Friday, but I don't.
Maybe not is the answer then.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine it would be on anything new. You know, it'd be like
Sure.
older stuff that would go on sale probably.
Okay.
Game Pass recently got the Seraph Bow Neat skin and unlocked for both games. When we received previous ones that were part of Immortal Honor, they didn't unlock in Smite 1 as well. Why the difference? Honestly, we probably used the wrong item ID, and we probably didn't mean to. So you're welcome. We gave you something extra we didn't need to. You know, it's not a huge...
So usually we get bug reports about that stuff, to be honest.
Yeah, well, they're not reporting this because they get something extra for free. You see.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's unusual that we get those.
Yeah. But no, it's you know, I don't fully mind that we accidentally gave you something in Smite 1 because, you know, Smite 1 is not where our focus is right now. We don't make a ton of money off of it anymore. So.
Clash and Slash mentions in chat, no plans on Clash and Slash just yet. At all, as you can see, we're currently going through the whole lighting and updates to the Conquest map at the moment, so that's where the team's spending most of their time. And I expect we'll continue to work towards those things in the future if we want to bring them back, but not at the moment.
Are Manny's headphones actually plugged in? They are.
They are. Yep.
He needs to be able to hear. Can we nerf Mori again just for a good time's sake? I don't know if she needs it or not.
No, I don't think
she probably
does.
not.
I'll be real, she doesn't.
Yeah.
She doesn't.
I just thought that was a funny question. Can we shift the Conquest lighting to Arena? So we were talking about this a little bit this morning. I think that once we feel like it's settled, which I think it's pretty close. I don't know if there's too many changes that we have planned for the next update. Then we definitely will consider bringing that to Arena and to Joust. I think it makes just the core game look so much better that it's the right thing to do to improve the quality of the whole game.
Long-term plans, I guess, yes, is the answer there, but no guarantees on what that timescale looks like.
Especially with, Thanksgiving and the holidays coming up. Like there's a lot of stuff that we're trying to get done in not a lot of time.
Ilfazen's in chat asking for Mulan stuff. I refuse to even... last time Ilfazen asked for Mulan buffs, she became top god in the game. Yeah. So, no. Speak to a dev on that one.
I'm going to address this one just because there was like a tweet that went like, I don't want to say viral, but a little bit viral last week, I think. Somebody saying, when will the Smite 1 servers turn off? There was a tweet, some guy was like, the Smite 1 servers will turn off.
I got hit by that a lot last week. Like, is this true? Is this true?
Yeah. We don't have any plans to turn off the Smite 1 servers right now. If there were any plans, I would know about them. Also, if we do reach the point where we want to turn off the Smite 1 servers, I'm pretty sure that we would be required by the platforms to give a certain amount of notice before that happened and disable purchasing for that period of time in advance. And we would do that even if that wasn't, what we were going to do. But like, no current intent to turn off the Smite 1 servers.
One RNG tweet from one account with not many followers or viewers, and it just got kind of like
people
went kind of viral. Of like, is this true? So
I mean, I think Smite 1 still has value for several reasons.
For sure.
Right? First one is if you are on last gen hardware, you can't play Smite 2. It's good that you still have a way to play Smite, right? Number two is there's gods that aren't in Smite 2 yet. They're still in Smite 1. That some people are just like, I only play Apuash or whatever, right? It's like, well, you deserve a way to keep playing your favorite god, right? And some people are like, I just have a lot of stuff in this game and I want to keep using it, right? And as long as we can continue to support that, I think we intend to do that. So yeah, no plans to shut down Smite 1 servers.
We're going to get a sneak peek at any gods after Nut closer to her release. Maybe when we get towards Nut, we might have some stuff to talk about there, but that's about the time frame. So I always feel like this question is like, we announce 3 gods and then the next day it's like, okay, the next 5. Okay, the next ones. Okay, the next ones. And it takes a bit of time to really bring them to the forefront.
Yeah, I don't know. People...
Because the schedule can change quite dramatically.
That's the thing,
that's
right?
The problem.
Like, there are people that think that we're like trying to be too, secretive or coy or like turn this stuff into marketing beats. No, we're not.
No.
It's literally just when we say something is happening and then it doesn't happen, like...
You said it was going to happen.
And so it's we try and be as open as we can be once the plans are relatively firm, or like we're committed to at least like running the test, right? And we want it's going to go live, and we want to see what people think, right? But like, I mean, I still have people asking me about conquest trees, because we were working on the conquest trees at one point, and then they weren't looking good, so we stopped that project and started doing other projects.
People still ask about.
People still ask me about conquest trees, like every show. You know, when we were like, I think Baron's getting an aspect, and then Baron didn't get an aspect for like 2 months afterwards. Every show, people were like, but what about Baron's aspect? It's like, even though I said like, hey, what we were trying didn't work out, we went back to the drawing board. We'll have an update when we have it.
It's also the case of like when we're doing these conversations, and also people may catch one show a month, may just see mine in your face once a month and go, oh, they're on the show. And we've answered the question for the whole month for the most part, or things have developed and we've actually given the updates, but people just haven't been around for it. So sometimes it takes a while for the community to get through to the community sometimes. Any God-specific achievements coming to Smite 2?
So this is something that we did in Smite 1.
Yeah.
Right. So I believe Smite 1 actually has like top 5 or 10 gamer score available for any game, because with basically the way that like there's rules around how much gamer score you can add to your game.
Sure.
And with every new major update, we were allowed to add X points to the gamer score.
Interesting. Okay.
And so now it's like one of the top, like I said, 5 or 10 gamer score available games out there. The problems with this, the reason why we didn't go down this path in Smite 2, and I don't necessarily know if it's the right path, but those are reasons why we didn't go down this path of having God-specific achievements in Smite 2. The first one is, if you ever rework a god in a way that makes an achievement uncompletable, you aren't allowed to do that.
Oh, interesting.
You are also not allowed to change an achievement
once it's there,
without like a really long, in-depth like approval process.
That's pretty crazy. Okay.
So we had this happen several times on Smite 1, and it led to a lot of like animosity between us and the platforms, because they're like, you can't just change your achievements. And we're like, but God doesn't work that way anymore. And they're like, but you shouldn't have changed the God to invalidate your achievement. So there was a lot of like trouble where it like locked us into certain things, and we were like, oh well, we want to rework that, but we can't.
So example, like Agni stun 3 targets with an Agni bomb combo, and then we removed the stun from Agni, then they could never get it again
completely,
and the platforms would be like, no, you can't change that achievement, that has to stay.
Yes.
That's okay, that makes sense. Is why we've not done it then. Okay.
And then also the other piece of it is that like it is just it adds to your certification time, because if we're just updating, we can like fast pass and just, you know, we're like, hey, we have an update, and they're like, does it boot up? Cool. Like we're in their
fast pass category.
Their fast pass category right now. Whereas if we're adding new, it's not DLC, but it's kind of DLC. If we're adding new achievements, it takes a longer review period, and
I guess additional work for them on their end is what we're kind of saying there.
Well,
just to review.
It's additional work for us and for them, and it slows down how quickly we can move.
Gotcha.
Because it takes, let's say it takes, 3 business days to review that. Well, that slows down how quickly we can move. So I would love to have more achievements. I thought that was a really fun part of the game.
For sure.
But those were the issues that we ran into. What is your least favorite question to answer? That's a good one.
I don't have a least favorite one. I hate them all equally.
Oh,
is how I would answer.
That's good. I would say the only
what yours is. I'm trying to think of what mine would be.
The only one that I get like tired of answering, because I feel like we have to say it every show. Is Clash/Rank Joust, and it's not that I don't appreciate the players' like perspective on it, like they want it. But it's like it just feels like it's one of those that we answer every show.
That's fair. I guess when you get to a repetitive question, then it does make sense. I don't think I have a specific one that's frustrating to me. I guess maybe I will over time. I'll snap one of these shows about that question, Kilgoon. That's the one.
I've been seeing a lot of Smite 2 ads on Snapchat, but only on Snapchat. Why not elsewhere? We are running ads elsewhere.
They just targeting you on Snapchat.
Snapchat just really thinks that you're the kind of person that wants to see our ad. So We also are still not spending very much money. We need to go back and do like an optimization pass for how things are going, but it's a lot of like training the algorithm right now. And, this is also not the time of year to really be spending heavily on player acquisition as a free-to-play game, because this is like the 2-month period where all of the heavy hitting games come out, and unless you're dropping a complete Simpsons overhaul of your free-to-play game, there's not too much you can do to really compete with them, I think.
Sure.
So I think that, and historically also, people probably won't find this interesting, but I always find the advertising stuff interesting. Ads are most expensive in the fourth quarter.
That would make sense.
Because
through the Thanksgiving period into the Christmas period, a lot of people off.
Yeah.
More money to spend.
So,
sales,
and you're like, oh, okay, of course,
Christmas
it makes
gifts.
sense because people are advertising the Christmas gifts on like,
Yeah.
Facebook or whatever, right? They're also more expensive on the consoles. So like the consoles up their own rates if you're trying to buy like on-platform advertising during Q4. So it's just it's a tough time of year for free-to-play to advertise. But we have still been doing some advertising. We're on Snapchat and we're on all the Google platforms. We're on Reddit. We're on, I don't know, Twitter. There's a few other things. But yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely seen a lot more feedback of people getting the ads now. People still upset. There's still in the community that are not happy about the Aladdin one, but like we've said, it's one of the better performing ones.
I don't know why it works. We also have a video of Christy Dixon is doing very well.
Oh, okay.
And there's another video. I'm blanking
You'll have to find the data for us because I think people will be interested in like which ones are doing well. If we can.
Because there's one Christy Dixon one that's doing well, and there's one that's and I'm forgetting the creator, and I feel like an idiot, and I'll look it up later. But kind of a VTuber type creator had like a really funny clip that
is done well.
Is done
I've not actually seen the ad, so I couldn't go, oh, maybe this one.
Cinnamon, perhaps.
Could have been Cinnamon.
Perhaps. I will look. But yeah, we've got like a bunch of those clips, but it's just kind of optimized towards the ones that were performing best, and it shows those more often. So the ones that you've seen the most are probably the ones that are working the best.
Can you guys tell me before the match starts, my teammates are going to let me down as a support? Thank you. If you're playing support wise, always be prepared that your teammates will let you down, because then you can't be upset, and then you suffer from success when they don't. That's my advice. Look for the best player on the team and stick with them and try and keep them alive.
Is it intended that most travelers are diamonds only? Generally, yes. Generally speaking, the way that we price travelers is you're paying for the prisms, and prisms are diamond only. The classic skin is just kind of like a free throw-in with the traveler. And so we price it around the concept of you're paying for the prisms for most of the travelers.
Yeah.
And then you can get the classic skin later for legacy gems only. And there are also travelers that we do put out that are most travelers that are new skins have kind of a mixed 50-50 price because that's, we're factoring in the price of the new skin as well and trying to give you a discount on that. It's Nevea, and it's the Quadra-Kill fountain in Arena.
I think I've seen that one.
Yeah, it's like a Hecate ult that like pulls the entire team into the Arena fountain, and then she starts cackling. It's a great one. Are we getting any Yana skins soon? Yandroid? How would you pronounce that? Yandroid.
I mean, I guess he did pronounce it that way, I guess.
With prisms is sitting right there. Take my money. We were just talking about Yana skins yesterday.
Oh, were we? You were. Yeah. Go tell me more.
Yeah, we were talking about trying to pick what the next Yana skin that gets on the calendar will be.
Okay.
I will say that Clumsy came screaming into my cube saying it needed to be Yandroid. Okay. So
maybe
take that as you will. He was like, SMITE cart's back and Jandroid's driving. I don't know. He was just very excited about it.
That sounds about right. I was going to say, if he came in and said a different skin, now then everyone blames him if the Yandroid's design the game, but you did it the other way around. Henny, could you read my Reddit post on Giannis Aspect and give your thoughts if possible? I'll try and get to that maybe this evening when I get home. I'll look and you'll probably get a 3-word answer of this is silly or something like that. But maybe I'll look. Oh, maybe cool. I have no influence, just so you know, on God design and stuff like that.
Clumsy screaming announcer back win.
He just has Smite cart constantly.
It would kind of be like Groot, but it's just
I am Smite cart. Yeah.
Every line is Smite cart, Smite cart, Smite cart.
Smite cart times 2.
I miss Winter Snow Conquest map. Yeah, I think that like at some point in the future, we would like to do more seasonal map things. At this point, when we're still just trying to get the core of the map looking and feeling good, we feel like it's better to put our effort into understanding what works and what doesn't work and working on that core before we start doing the nice to have stuff. It would be fun though. And it should be easier to do like a snow map than it was in UE3 when we get to that point. Kilgoon PowerPoint for end of the year confirmed. Chat wanted me to do like a year in review PowerPoint.
Okay.
Towards the end of the year.
It's not the worst idea.
All the progress that we made, everything that happened.
I did think about like taking all the way back at the start of the year and going through, here's every patch that you've had so far this year.
Look at all the stuff.
That's it's a long show just in itself, just to showcase that.
Some of the chat questions just start to get silly at a certain point.
I'm not too upset by it though, because that means the games, and this isn't me like counting my chickens too much, but like the game's not in too bad of a state if everyone's like random silly questions now rather than
they want to know our opinion on Tinder for dating and all sorts of fun things.
It's beyond my time, Tinder for dating.
Dude, I was married.
I was
think,
born
before
before
Tinder
phones,
came out.
So were you?
When did Tinder come out? I was probably not married yet.
Let me guess.
I was probably dating my wife.
I'm gonna say like 2017.
Tinder release
is my guess.
Date 2012.
2012. Okay.
And I was definitely dating my wife at the time that it came out. So. Yeah,
I was too busy casting Smite to care about ladies at that point, no joke. But then I found a lady through Smite.
Hey,
doing Smite.
I got a work call. Did we say anything about Nike? No, we did not say anything about Nike. Sorry.
No. I won't be on the show when Nike gets mentioned. I'll tell you that. I'll do my best to be off for that one. I don't want to hear her coming back.
How are the team in the studio doing? I'd say, overall pretty well. I think it's been a year. It's been a year. But I think that like, things are stable. Things seem like they're trending in a decent direction. We've got a holiday break coming up that I think people are looking forward to because it's been a long grind of a year. And we actually just hired 2 new employees that just started last week, I think. Okay. So we have 2 new FX people that started.
Now everyone in Chester, okay, so FX is going to be more work at FX, guys.
Just it was kind of a bottleneck for us, so able to address that. So we're just we're
plugging along.
Plugging along.
Yeah. Mental seems pretty good in check though.
Yeah,
that's what I'd say.
Unless people are tilting during play tests.
That just happens. Listen, I've seen the amount of games that I've seen people who are definitely very upbeat in Smite get very tilted in games too, and it happens.
Mm-hmm. If you had the ability to make a god, who would it be?
Ooh. A lot of the big ones have been taken. I always think of stupid ones at that point. I heard Robin Hood mentioned, and I was like, you know what? Why not?
Yeah, Robin Hood could be fun.
Why not? Only if he really does steal from the rich and give to the poor. He has that needs to be his whole thing. Maybe he even does it to your own team too, where your richest guy gives it to the poorest guy.
Okay.
I like that.
I like that.
I want something like that.
It's fun.
Stealer of money. It's kind of like, Dansborough, makes the coins that drop. Maybe he steals people's money. Everyone would hate it.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't do
miserable. Yeah. Peter Pan. I don't think I've ever heard Peter Pan suggested. Maybe I have heard Peter Pan suggested, but that's not a common one.
Would it be Peter Pan and not Tinkerbell? Wouldn't Tinkerbell be better? She's technically magical, right?
You might just do like a duo character,
Oh, okay, so like a Grover and Sylvana sort of thing. Peter Pan flying around with Tinkerbell support. Interesting. Winnie the Pooh, that'd be a good one.
Winnie the Pooh.
He just says, "Oh bother" on cooldown in lane.
That's Eeyore.
No, that's
isn't Eeyore says, "Oh bother."
I mean, Eeyore doesn't say much. Eeyore's just Eeyore. He goes, "Oh well," but yeah. Winnie the Pooh's go to his.
Does he say "go bother"?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
when things go bad.
Never mind. Jimmy Thomas the Tank Engine. Pon says, "Oh, we're going down some rabbit holes today."
Really?
Colonel Sanders. Yeah, that could be a good one.
Interesting.
The Loch Ness Monster. It's fun. So this is a question that we have talked about before internally. I don't know if we ever talked about on the show. Probably. Would a god like Kratos be difficult to get into the game in terms of having the rights to do it? Would God of War only have the right to their designs? So if a god is a god from mythology and we do our own version of it and we aren't like wink, wink, nod, nod, this is actually
copy pasting basically. Yeah.
Then we're fine to do any god from mythology that sure. predates, but sometimes there's like specific things about a depiction that you can't do. Right. So like, I believe like Alice in Wonderland, for example, I believe that the blue dress that Alice in Wonderland is wearing is unique to the Disney version of Alice in Wonderland.
Interesting.
And in like the original book, she was wearing like a red dress or something. I don't know. So you can't do like Alice in a blue dress or else you get sued, right?
Okay.
Or something like that, right?
Yeah, there's certain crossovers.
There's certain things that like you can't do because people will be like...
I guess it's the same way with like, Smite was out forever, but Hades came out. Yeah. There was no issues with their creations or anything like that, or the crossover there to extent. Because it's just like mythology in general, right? You're allowed to interpret it as you want.
Mm-hmm. Chat's just going crazy with different god ideas now. I see a Bluey request. Just so good at like pretends magical powers, I guess. I don't know how Bluey would work.
When a god comes to Smite 2, do you see their play rate drop off in Smite 1?
That's a good question. We haven't looked at this in a little while, but
the data comes out. I would expect so.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like we did back when we were looking at this more often.
Yeah.
We don't really a lot of our data structures that were around Smite 1, we don't really maintain in the same way. So it's harder for us to pull data from Smite 1 than it was a year ago.
Yeah.
Or less time than that, but just as an example. So we don't compare things between Smite 2 and Smite 1 quite as much as we used to in that way.
So I mentioned the Pantheon badges again. Yeah, we kind of answered that earlier on. I expect the Pantheon badges may come back again in the future. They were kind of a small event as a stopgap, but we will look at that again in the future potentially.
I have the Ultimate Edition, and I received an Ascension Pass token from the Wandering Path chest. Is that intentional or a bug? I believe that's a bug. I think you're supposed to get Legacy gems potentially instead. I will mention that to Blake. Okay, I wrote it down. Clumsy, the god of carts.
Okay.
Somebody says the Ascension Pass turns into Legacy gems when you log out and log back in. So maybe that works. I don't know. Where can I see development updates, if any, for the new Smite auto chess game? They're kind of just in development land right now, trying to figure out exactly what the identity for that is. For those of you who didn't hear that, we have a studio that splintered off from our sister studio. Prophecy previously made a Smite auto battler, which was called Prophecy. A group of people from that studio are now working on something that's kind of like a spiritual successor to that. I don't even remember what it's called right now, but there is a Steam page for it. But it's still, they kind of went down a couple of rabbit holes of like different design directions, and I'm not exactly sure where the team is or when you'll hear about it again, but they sit right there. I see them regularly. They're working on it. I don't know exactly when it's going to have an update for you. What was the new one called? I can't remember. It's like...
I have to log into Steam. I don't have it on my phone.
That's all right. It's not a big deal.
That's my problem with I think I've got it on my account.
Are there more Saga skins in the works? Yep, we do have another Saga skin that we're developing right now. We'll see when it's done. It will come out.
Are there any competitive updates, timelines for updates with the presumed end of Smite Prime after this month? At the moment, Coach Fox, no. Basically, because it's the winter months, all the leagues generally do close themselves down for the winter, generally because the player base as a whole has really bad scheduling and organization around this period with Thanksgivings and times off with family for Christmas. So it's not something that the communities themselves want to run to. We will be back in touch, hopefully, in January about what the future holds in terms of the esports scene and what's going to be going on there, but nothing at the moment today to discuss.
So it says, ask Prophecy Games to make an extraction shooter. They made several, and nobody liked them. So if you haven't played their current multiplayer PvE kind of roguelike-y thing, it's good. It's called Dead Zone Rogue. It's if you like Gunfire Reborn or I think Robo Quest or something like that. It's in that same world of, shooter roguelike co-op thing.
Divine Tactics.
Divine Tactics. Thank you.
Dab. Appreciate it. Would we ever get a community vote Saga skin?
Probably not, just because it takes a long time to make these things.
Yeah.
And the problem is usually by the time we go through we do the vote, right? And we've got here's 2 or 3 concepts, right?
So we do this in January.
Yeah. So we do this in January. We've now made half the population upset because the thing that they liked is not the thing that got picked.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm not buying that because it's not what I wanted anyway, right? So then we come out with this thing about best case scenario 4 months later.
Yeah.
Because it takes that long to make one of these things from start to finish, running it through the entire art pipeline. Because you have to make multiple models. You have to do multiple versions of effects. You got to do textures for all that. You got to make the card art. You got to animate. You got to break. There's so many things that you have to do. So best case scenario, you're looking at 4 months. Sometimes it's more like 6 months, It's not, and by then it's of the people that voted for it, how many of them are still even around and playing and excited for this thing? Or they're like, oh, I'm tired of hearing about this thing, right? Mm-hmm. It's people got mad when we, I don't know if you remember when we released, why am I blanking on her name? My brain.
Was it Tier 5 skins related?
No.
Because I remember us doing votes on those too.
Hera. When we released Hera, we did this really big promotional thing around Hera, and people were just like, I'm tired of hearing about Hera. What's next?
There's a burnout to it.
Yeah, right. So I think it's just people aren't as excited about the community vote thing as they think they would be because it takes so long between when they vote and when the action happens.
I really like this random question. And you know what? I'm going to investigate about that one. In 2026, the World Cup football will be held in the US, Mexico, and Canada. Can you add Jablonki footballer skin like you did for 2014 World Cup in Brazil? I'll talk off air, no guarantees. But it's one of those kind of cool throwbacks. It's weird that it is actually the same year as the World Cup coming around. So
yeah, it's going to be, there are going to be games here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, Mexico, and I believe Canada. Yeah.
I mean, like in Atlanta.
Oh, in Atlanta, I'm kind of waiting to see where the groups get drawn to see.
I saw, I think I saw Scotland made it.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Finland for the first time as well. In a long time, so exciting there. Oh, was it Finland? No, Norway. I'm crazy. Sorry, chat. My football knowledge isn't there anymore, being over here. Thoughts on changing pick and ban to one team ban 5, then the other team ban 5. Yeah, we've already done some adjustments you should already see in your game as well regarding picks and bans in terms of teammates can't ban the same god. There's not going to be a world where your team bans 5, then the other team bans 5, and you can see what they banned, because you're just getting a competitive advantage in the whole way of oh, they all banned healers. Well, I guess we don't have to worry about the anti-healers, or we can pick the last healer left or something like that. You get comp advantage, so that's not going to be the case. I get the idea of to avoid mirrors. However, if teams are both banning mirrors, then it gives us more data in a weird way to go, Afro's banned on both teams consistently. Guess we need to look about Afro nerfs. Mm-hmm. Can Andy do an American accent? No. No.
Is there any mage that you would want to give a melee aspect to? Probably the first one that comes to mind is to do for Hades, because he's already got so many close range abilities.
That's true.
He's in there already anyway, so it kind of makes sense to me. And he does have the leap, you kind of have to have a repositioning, I think, as a mage that is melee range. That would probably be the only one I could think of that immediately might work, but there's probably some other ones out there. Freya's melee half the time anyway, guys. What? And she's not in the game. So what are we talking about?
True. Yeah, nothing stands out to me mage-wise where I'm yeah, that'd be great melee.
Yeah. Can we add somewhere in the game what classifies as hard CC, or maybe put something in ability descriptions for it? Potentially. I would say that like we get a lot of people that are like, you should have this big in-game knowledge center of all the terms and everything. And we had like click tracking in SMITE 1 to see how often people engaged with the big knowledge learning section that we had, the glossary, all of that. And nobody ever looked.
I think that's the key. People want it, but it's not utilized is the bigger thing. So like, I'd rather invest time elsewhere.
Yeah, people are usually just going to like Google it if they want. Like, and it's like, why spend the time? Because it takes a lot of time to put this stuff in game and keep it up to date and whatnot. And people are just going to Google it. Hard CC is basically like a stun or a knock up or a fear, like, or a taunt. I think that's kind of the list. There maybe is one I'm forgetting, but it's like things that
Pun in chat. I'll go on record. The glossary was not worth the sheer amount of hours and time it worked on it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it would it might not astonish you, but it would astonish you like what low percentage of players ever interacted with it, and of the ones that interacted with it, like how much time they spent looking at it or doing anything with it. It's like,
don't get us wrong. I do think they're valuable. We wouldn't have put them in the game in the first place if we didn't think they were valuable. But if they're not getting utilized, then it's not worth the time at the same time. Mm-hmm. So on paper, it sounds good. Oh, well, before we get to the one more question part, because that's coming up real soon, a quick reminder that we do have the Yulefest Artful Tidings competition going on at the moment. You guys can send in your submissions to smiteprime.com. Go there for the submission panel, and you can earn some diamonds for yourselves by doing it. I will actually showcase real quick for you as well, as I'll bring this up. Just one of the art submissions really got me, and I was like, this is really cute. And I'm not trying to give this away, but Baron Samedi and Osiris by 5-year-old Rose was sent in. Aww, and I was like, that's really cute.
That's nice.
How crazy is that? So yeah, make sure you send in your submissions for that.
I will say, I also saw Jithin's tweeting angrily that he's been getting a lot of like
AI ones. Yeah,
like bad AI.
We have people who send. I mean, some of the ones on the list. I mean, that was a 5-year-old that did.
Yeah, that's cool.
In comparison to what I did, by the way, like that just it hurts. You know, it is what it is. However, our submissions are there. Make sure you check them out. I just wanted to promote it one more time. On today's show, but I guess it is 1:59, so it's time for one more question. Ish. Would it be difficult to add a VGS command for Attack of the Pyromancer? Yes, it would, unfortunately. Mainly because all the audio of all those characters, Pyromancer never existed back in the early days. I don't think Pyromancer existed until someone's going to prove me wrong, but I'm going to say season 7.
I was going to say 8, but maybe
off
7.
The top of my head. Yeah. This is just random guess. So it wasn't even there for the first 7 years. It is something that, looking back, it would have been great, but we didn't know Pyromancer could exist at the time, and it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so basically it's just like we don't have the voice line.
Yeah.
Right, that's
pretty much the reason. We also
the long and the short of it.
You have the attack options. You can technically say attack fire jet. It's not the easiest one, but you can attack ping for the area you want to go to. We understand now.
Yep. Season 5. Some people say season 5, some people say season 4.
Was Pyro 4? Maybe.
A long time ago. Attack the portal demon. I guess it was the portal demon back then.
It's changed a lot for you guys.
Yeah. I have to answer a question. A question about Tracker GG's overlay. I don't know what Tracker GG's overlay does. That's not us, so don't.
I think that's more related to console, but we don't control the Tracker GG overlay stuff. That's really on Tracker GG for the most part. If it doesn't expand to the other modes, we apologize for that, but the website still has all the other data.
I know Conquest has been the focus, but are there any plans for Assault improvements? It's such a great in-between of Conquest and Arena for newer players, and the map meta could use some improvements. The teleporter and spawn time changes were great. Yeah, I think that, like, it's still kind of a temp map. It's part of the Conquest map that's cut down. We tried to experiment with some bigger changes to the layout, and feedback was pretty overwhelmingly negative. There were some people that really enjoyed the layout changes, but most people said that stuff doesn't belong in Assault. Sure. It's kind of proven a hard formula to mess too much with. It doesn't mean that we aren't going to go back and look at it. Like you noted, we just had changes this update. Yeah. And we're open to more changes. But, if you have specific thoughts for things that might be interesting to try in Assault that would not mess up the core formula of everybody standing in lane, pointing at each other, let us know.
Makes sense.
And with that,
Is that it?
I think that's it.
So. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Today, Friday, I guess we'll be doing. The goal is, I guess, to do an overview of RTO.
Yeah. Probably at least RTO. I don't know if we'll show off the skins and other stuff. It kind of depends on how far along things are, but we will be PTSing, so you'll see the stuff over the weekend, even if we don't talk about it on Friday. So it's usually better for us.
And we'll give you updates as well next week, Wednesday and Friday for sure.
You will see
Time Talk.
bears.
You'll see bears come Friday. I'll tell you, the bears are a little bit better off than where they were previously.
Yeah, they were.
Goodness.
It's a lot of bears.
They were a lot of bears. Anyway, I appreciate you all tuning in, and if we don't see you beforehand, we'll see you all on the battleground. Goodbye.